When making decisions, it can be helpful, especially when we're stuck, when we're struggling with working on too many things at once, or when we simply have a hard time letting go of something to focus on a particular path. After all, the word decision is distinct from the word choice. A decision stems from the Latin to cut, meaning that when we decide, again, decision is related to the word incision, meaning to cut. When we decide, we are cutting ourselves off from a possibility. One thing that makes it difficult to cut ourselves off from possibility is our attachment to our outcomes and to desirable outcomes, or to at least outcomes that we think we desire from our perspective, given where we are in this moment in our lives. That attachment to an outcome makes it sometimes very difficult to let go of possibility and to focus our energy and attention and commit to a particular path by deciding to go down that path. This is where surrender becomes extremely valuable. I'll offer that surrender is valuable in other ways, but when it comes to making decisions, it can be and it can serve the decision-making process beautifully. Surrender requires, in the way that I'm using it in this context, a letting go of our attachments to a particular outcome. Surrender is about surrendering that attachment. It's about not finding or not attempting to find ourselves at or in or through the outcome, meaning that we are divesting our sense of self from the result that we think we want. And I emphasize think we want because we think we want things from the perspective at which we currently hold, but sometimes when we get to the thing that we want, we realize, oh, actually, that's not quite what I wanted. I wanted something else. I know this from experience. When I published my graduate school work, I felt somewhat empty inside at times. Felt like, well, uh, I've been duped. Something here is missing. It's not quite what I was anticipating or expecting to get. So, surrendering is about not finding ourselves in the outcome, instead, letting that go fully and accepting the isness of what is, accepting what is in its totality, right here and now, coming into alignment with the present moment as it unfolds moment to moment. Surrender is really about our relationship to life. It's about saying yes to life and to the now as it unfolds and manifests itself in the form of what is moment to moment. And it's about holding an inner yes to whatever arises, letting go of our expectations, letting go of our desired outcomes, surrendering that, and aligning more and more with the unfolding of what is. That's the first step of surrendering. And it can really benefit and serve the decision-making process because by surrendering our attachments and honoring our decision, we can better harness our energy and our focus in the direction in which we commit to go down. Surrender isn't about giving up. It's not about waving a white flag and admitting defeat. Those stances are more egoic in nature if you feel into them. Surrender, again, is about alignment, internal alignment and external alignment to what is. How do you surrender? Well, you know that you're not surrendering if you have to ask the question, how do you surrender? We surrender by simply dropping our resistance that might arise in the decision-making process or simply right now in what you're going through in your life experience, whether it's at work, at a relationship. Surrender is a moment-to-moment stance that we take that allows us to relate differently to life and to our problems. And you'll notice that the more and more you surrender and you practice the art of surrendering, your problems stop becoming problems and they start becoming circumstances. More and more, as you drop your resistance, whatever it is that you're encountering or facing, you'll begin to notice that decision making becomes a bit more effortless. Going back to that notion of emotional turmoil or emotional baggage cluttering our decision making. Well, resistance is a form of that. And as we surrender and align ourselves to what is, decision making has the tendency of becoming more effortless. Now, this next part I'll offer as a more advanced form of surrendering, and it's surrendering the surrenderer itself, letting go of the one that is surrendering is a deeper form of surrendering. Until ultimately you reach the highest form of surrendering, which is to surrender the surrendering itself. Until you're just left with what is. And in doing so, you end up discovering a profound sense of grace, a profound sense of peace, and joy begins to arise. Not because anything has changed in your outer life, but because you've related differently to life itself. And in my experience, this practice really has transformative benefits to the art of decision making and to the art of living.